Technology,
science,
space,
environment,
people.
places.
It's all totally awesome.
Welcome once again to Totally Awesome. On today's show, is it a man or a monkey? Whatever or whoever, it's sending the feeling of terror around a small town in India.
The relationship art has with science. We'll take a look at a very unique exhibition that gives us a better understanding of both.
A dog kennel set up to ease the mind of holidaying owners.
And the Russian motorbike that's turning heads around the world.
Did you know that plants talk to insects? Well, that's the theory being put to test by scientists at the Imperial Agricultural College in Wye. Researchers there are discovering how plants use scent and colour to attract helpful insects and repel unwelcome visitors. Scientists have been doing a lot of research in the conversation between plants and insects and have come up with some fascinating results. A plant releases smell to attract certain insects to feed on it, pollinate it, or protect it from aggressors. It's a relationship where the plant is in total control. Why researchers have also discovered the secret life of roses. They have used suction pipes to draw the scent onto special filters. With this, they've been able to analyse when and how roses produce the hundreds of components that make up their perfume, and what external factors make them carry on doing so. These cockroach enclosures have been partially sprayed with a natural plant repellent. If successful repellents can be found, they can be used in fragrant-smelling household products like floor cleaners. The research also provides insight into how good, helpful insects can be attracted into our garden and unwanted ones repelled in a natural way without using pesticides. The centre has been the heart of agricultural study for 550 years, so I guess you'd say they know a thing or two about plants. With the relationship between plants and insects being more than 300 million years old, we're just beginning to understand how it all works.
Police in India were on their toes recently when an estimated 65 reports were made about a mysterious attacker with a monkey's face and a human body. He was said to be scratching and biting victims in and around Delhi. Named the Monkey Man, this mysterious creature had the newspapers in a frenzy, with sketches of the mysterious attacker splashed all over the front page. Two identikit portraits put together with the help of the creature's victims suggested it was human. 55-year-old Ram Gopal Shamara, who was attacked by the creature while he was sleeping, said the incident had panicked his neighbours, forcing them to spend their nights in the streets armed with sticks, waiting for the attacker. Ashkol Kumar, an eyewitness, said there were two of them. The first one's face was that of a monkey. He had hair all over his head and shoulders, but there was no hair on the lower part of his body. The second creature also had a monkey's face and hair all over his head and shoulders. Police said they had no clue as to the identity of the alleged attackers, but they had intensified patrols in an attempt to catch the mysterious creatures. Monkeys run wild in New Delhi and on the outskirts of the city. Sometimes they pounce on unsuspecting pedestrians or enter houses. What do you think? Man or monkey? And will we ever know?
Is this a space ride over a Martian landscape? Not quite. Or dream pictures of another dimension? In a way, yes. It's images of an internal world. This is a computerised representation of the elements that form the Earth. It's an artistic way to show a science point of view in a real manner. This table of 109 known elements is familiar to students of chemistry. Transforming it into works of art is new. The idea of science-inspiring artists is a great way for everyone to understand the concepts behind science. And scientists are always looking for ways to take a look at their ideas. Each of the 109 known various elements is illustrated by a symbol. Arsenic is common in shellfish, so the symbol used is a lobster. The map of Cyprus is a reminder that copper is derived from the island's name. With its potential for use in nuclear weapons, the element plutonium is represented by the Hindu deity Shiva, the creator and destroyer of mankind. While helium gas explodes in solar-like flares that consume the universe. This is a three-dimensional computer animation of the elements. Here it shows the use of a neon gas in modern strip lighting. This grey metal is called cerium. It's used in flint for pocket lighters. As art, it is represented as a giant asteroid spinning through space. Magnesium is the element of all living things, and in this artwork it appears as a leafy green portrait. The picture table of the elements is just one aspect of the Arts and Science Festival, centred on the museums and colleges of South Kensington, a very popular place for those who are into the artistic and science scene. It's no accident that these art and science institutes and the Royal Albert Hall find themselves as neighbours. The proceeds of the Great Exhibition of 1851 held in Hyde Park were used to set up these buildings in what was then parkland on the edge of London. It is an appropriate setting then for the Creating Sparks Festival, which examines the many-faceted relationships between art and science. Immortality, creation, evolution, the stuff of artistic as well as scientific research, and the inspiration for these works by sculptor John Robinson. As part of the festival, a collection of these clean-lined sculptures are on show at the Royal Geographic Society, next to the Royal Albert Hall. The festival is hoping to break new ground in understanding artistic and scientific creativity. The heart of the festival is the annual week-long meeting of the British Association for the Advancement of Science. Ooh, what a mouthful. A showcase of research in all areas of science which each year bases itself at a different British university. This year it's the turn of the Imperial College of Science, Technology and Medicine. Scientists have the opportunity to tell the public how far they've gotten with their pet research project. A team from Imperial College is on the verge of developing a way to stop asthma attacks without the need for regular steroid inhalers. In asthma, white cells invade the lungs, causing shortness of breath and wheezing. The Imperial College team has found a way of blocking the lung receptors to prevent the accumulation of white cells.
Keep going. Breathe all the way in. Suck in.
Another project looks at insects, the world's best flyers. They've perfected their hovering and manoeuvring abilities over 300 million years. Mimicking this ability with engineering is a tall order, to say the least, but researchers are working hard on developing 6-inch flying robots that can manoeuvre slowly and silently inside buildings. A camera-equipped hovering robot could be used in dangerous situations, like searching for survivors of earthquakes. The idea is to make one that can fly through gaps in fallen masonry, locate survivors and plan safer removal of rubble to free them.
That area up there where you said you were, you're not getting anybody answering back to you. What are you calling?
The Royal Albert Hall, used more for symphony orchestras than circuses, and has rarely seen anything like this. For one special day, it was transformed to stage an event designed to spark scientific curiosity in school children. A circus clown proved a painless way for these youngsters to experience some of the effects of friction and gravity. There were plenty of hands-on activities too. University lecturers were ready and waiting to help these children convert their mechanical ideas into working models. It was all cleverly designed to get kids interested in science and technology. With the accent on virtual reality, there's a danger that model building is a skill that's been forgotten. Mixing fun with learning is the motto of the day. And working in the real world, how can sport and fitness be left out? Reaction times, heart rates. Science has a role in all aspects of training and testing. Science or art, for these children, it's just learning with a whole lot of fun thrown in.
On a hill overlooking Yangon sits a smiling Buddha made from a huge slab of pure white marble. It's the biggest marble Buddha image in the world, according to the government of Myanmar. It has been nearly a year since an elderly Burmese sculptor stumbled across the huge slab of flawless marble north of Mandalay. And after months of planning, sculpting, transporting and praying, a majestic white marble Buddha now sits on a hill in the nation's capital. Marble is a stone that comes from limestone. It has been transformed from intense heat and pressure and is often used in sculptures and buildings. To find a piece as pure in colour as this one is quite unusual. Weighing more than 400 tonnes and measuring 37 feet tall, the Buddha is said to be the largest image of its kind in the world. It was a huge task to move the marble, with a specially crafted barge required, because the stone was too heavy for the road. Along with the special barge, 2 temporary railroads were built to transport the massive slab. More than 100,000 locals turned out to witness the moving of the Buddha statue. The barge stopped at townships along the way so that people outside of Yangon got their chance to pay respects. It is hoped that the Buddha will bring happiness and protect from danger. The government plans to open the Buddha site once work is complete on the massive temple surrounding it. Until then, the crowd comes to pay its respect and to be inspired by this magnificent piece of work.
If you have a pet, you may know that leaving it behind in kennels while you're on holiday can be a stressful experience for both you and your pet. You may worry about whether your pet is eating, sleeping and being cared for properly, or just whether or not they're getting enough pats. Paul Bliss is the owner of Gay Dog Boarding Kennels and believes he has come up with a solution to the problem. By installing a web camera in his kennels, Paul is able to upload pictures of his canine guests over the internet, so people can see how their pets are coping, for a minimal charge, naturally. Paul is confident that the webcam